My suggestion would be that we have a little coaching conversation, specifically with the question that you shared earlier. All right. So let's take a moment, ground ourselves, close our eyes, take a few breaths, softening our bellies, allowing our breath to gently flow deeper, finding our own rhythm. Feeling our feet on the ground, feeling our connection with the land here. For a moment, finding stillness within, letting go of everything that has happened so far today, dropping all expectations of what should or could happen in this coaching session, really just centering ourselves. Becoming aware of the sound of the birds, the animals around us. Allowing our breath to guide us deeper. And noticing any tensions that we have in our bodies, and if it's available to us, gently soften and release. And also noticing any pleasant sensation, any warmth, tingling, aliveness in our bodies. And then tuning in with our heart space, connecting with the area around our hearts in our chest. And finding something that we experience today, or a quality of ours that we are grateful for. Anything that is present in our life that is a blessing. And feeling this gratitude in our hearts. From this place of gratitude, taking a few more breaths. And then slowly, your own timing, you can come back to the space around here. Open your eyes. Welcome.
Thank you.
Give me a little bit of context. What is the question that you're sitting with at the moment? What is the question that is most alive for you?
How can I how can I bring my gift and my power into this world? How can I serve in a higher context? What is my mission on this earth?
Yeah. And what is the clarity that you already have?
So that I'm a father of 2 wonderful sons. I know my family, especially my children, they are the quintessence of my being here. And I want to connect this to my service to the outer world. So what can I do to empower children, to empower teenagers, to be to be in full presence, to come into their power, into their special gift.
Why is that important to you?
When I look at the people there, I see adults who are still children in their hearts, in their mind. And when they come to power, when they come to money, it can be dangerous. I want to stop this.
Why do you care about that?
Why do I care about the world? Because I love mankind. I love myself. I love the people out there. I want to do what it's possible for me to save this planet, especially in reconnect each other and reconnect to the people and reconnect to nature.
And what would that bring about if you would support others in reconnecting on these different layers?
What would this bring about?
So imagine that you support others in feeling that connection with themselves, with each other, nature. How would that change the world? What would be different?
People wouldn't consume that much anymore. People would stick to their very purpose, why they are here, connecting to their essence of being, just being, and without all these influences of the new society, consumption, money making.
How does this relate to your own path?
By being a role model, by going this way, what I just explained would be, yeah, then I could be like a pioneer, go this way fearless.
What's happening as you share that?
What's happening with?
What is happening to you as you share that?
I feel a great satisfaction in this. I feel right where I am.
And what's
I feel
happening
wanted.
What's happening in your body right now?
Nervous and ashamed.
Where do you feel that in your body?
Comes from the belly up to my head, like a big pressure, something wants to come out.
And you feel that pressure in your belly mostly, or where would you locate it?
Feels like the essence, feels like the core comes from the solar plexus, but the energy is stuck in my head.
So if you tune in with this place in your solar plexus, I invite you to just feel it for a moment. You can also place a hand there if it's supportive. Just sense into this area. How's it to bring some awareness to this?
It's hard to focus, but when I focus, I feel that that I can hold myself.
happening now?
Peace, calmness, acceptance.
Can you still feel the pressure, or has it changed?
It's less, perhaps gone. There's nothing to lose. I'm okay.
Where do you feel this sense of being okay in your body?
This comes totally from the heart.
In the heart. This place around the heart could speak and had a message for you, what would it be?
You're loved.
Mm.
You're accepted. You're okay as you are. There's a reason for everything.
Sounds like there is a trust that goes almost beyond your personal story. And yet, when I heard you speak about the way that you want to inspire others, that you want to be an embodiment and a leader for the qualities that you described earlier, I had the feeling that there's something that very intimately connects your history, your biography, with where you want to be going. I'm curious what comes up from that place of trust, from this place of everything is okay, when you look at your own history and the message that you have for the world.
I think the clue is the 100% acceptance of my own history, of my own issues. When I go this way, when I go this direction, I think this might be the missing piece, and this might be the way to dedicate my life to a higher purpose, and to infect others with this power, with this clearance.
Say a bit more about the missing piece. What was it that clicked for you there?
I think the missing piece is to accept everything that is.
What would that mean in terms of your past, your history, your path, and also the life that you're living right now?
To totally accept my shadows, to integrate my shadows and my traumas.
And how would that benefit the people that whose lives you're touching?
When I'm able to accept this for my own, this might influence others and could lead them to a way of total acceptance of their own being.
How are you currently, or how have you been looking at your path and the life that you've been living so far?
Not in complete satisfaction, not in complete acceptance. There are parts of me that I still don't want to look at.
Mm.
Still try to avoid.
So there's a part of you that judges the life that you've been living or how you're living your life right now. And it's helpful to be aware of these inner parts, that there are parts in ourselves that are living their life in a certain way, and then there's another part that is judging. And to have awareness is the first step for integration. Because there's obviously then also a part that can see both of these parts. And so that's what we're doing right now, to disseminate in a way. It's like, oh, there's this part, and then there's also this other part. But who's observing all these parts? And I think you tapped into it right away at the beginning of our session when you spoke from this place of like, everything's okay. I can trust. That's this bigger perspective that holds all of that. That holds the judge within you, that holds the part within you that you're afraid of, that holds the part that you're ashamed of, and has infinite compassion for that. And I feel this is the quality that you also have when you're working with others. Because you have that within yourself and you're on this journey of holding all of yourself, saying like, oh, I'm held, I'm holding myself. That's the way how you can also hold others with their darkness, with their shadows. And so the way that I see it is that you're being prepared, and all your life has been a preparation for what's to come next. And there has been something in how you've been dealing with your life that is in some way coming to an end, because it won't get you to where you want to be going. It has served you so far, and it has brought you all the beautiful things that you have in your life right now. But there's a threshold, where you feel like, oh, if I want to go there, I need to change something. I need to leave this part behind. I'm curious what resonates in you when I speak about this part. Strategy. What's the strategy that doesn't serve you anymore?
To set a different raster, set a more to set a different raster to me than to others.
So you're judging yourself more than you would judge others. Mm-hmm. I can almost sense how there is this takes you out of balance, huh? Your old equilibrium of judging yourself.
See, well, it's just a play.
No, that's the thing, I think you have somehow maintained a certain equilibrium in your life, and if you challenge that way of being, it kicks you out of balance. It forces you to find a new balance, in the sense that you have attempted to try something new, but then the self-judgment comes in, and the shame, and the being hard on yourself, and that leads to self-sabotage and lack of confidence and shaming yourself. so that you won't do the steps that you actually know are calling you. And so it keeps you in this nice, safe, comfortable place, where you have your patterns, where you have your ways of being with life, which keeps you safe, but it also keeps you numb in a way. There's a lack of aliveness that could be accessed if you dared to actually move beyond that.
Hmm.
What would be more important for you than playing it safe?
The highest value in my life is to share what I can share, to share the love that I carry, the acceptance for all these imperfection of people.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the very thing what I cannot do to my own, I can totally accept in other people.
Mm-hmm. And my sense is because all your life you have built that capacity for yourself already. There are a lot of things that you can laugh about of yourself, and I feel that your humor is such a strength, such a beautiful quality of yours. And I think through that, having built that all your life, you also have the capacity to get along with so many different people from such different backgrounds. And so I feel that you have been building that superpower. And that you're coming to a point where you're being asked to, like, oh, how can I expand that even more? How can I be even more generous? How can I even be even more loving with myself? Not just for my own sake, but because that will expand the capacity that I have to love others. In coaching, I always like to say, you can only guide people as deep as you have gone yourself. And I believe that there's also some sort of a correlation between you can only love others as deeply as you love yourself. And sometimes you need to love others first in order to love yourself. It's this interconnectedness. But I can feel how you're building that muscle. You're building the heart muscle of being compassionate. And I think through having gone through your own history, of consumption and distraction and, of not embodying who you aspire to be, you have a lot of compassion for others who are walking that same path. And through embodying something new, I feel that you are becoming someone to look up to, not because you are perfect in all areas of life, not because you've done everything right from the beginning, but because others can relate to you. You're relatable. You're, like, you're one of us. That's what people see in you because they can relate to you so beautifully. And through that, you can inspire them to see, like, oh, if he can do it, then maybe I can do it too. And I think especially when you're working with young people, you're having a capacity to touch them in this way.
Well said.
What happens when you receive that?
These words coming out of your mouth are exactly the words that are within my heart. Comes from the bottom of my heart. Yeah, you nailed it.
So from this place, I invite you to dream really big. If you give yourself permission to drop all the self-doubt, to drop all the modesty, to drop all the judgments, and tune into 1 year from now. Say it's mid-March 2025. And we speak again. We'll probably have spoken in between, but imagine we won't speak until then, and you'll tell me, Jonathan, you won't believe what happened. Back then, when we had this coaching session and I shared with you my vision, it happened exactly like this, and this is what I'm living right now, what would you tell me if you allow yourself to dream really big?
There are many, or there are some different layers I can answer this question. I start off the layer of my feelings, and the feelings are peace, satisfaction in my work life and also in my private life. Connection to love, also in many ways.
Let's start with your work. What are you working on these days? What excites you when it comes to your business?
I'm working on many projects, especially with children and teenagers. Doing rituals to set a milestone from their childhood to their teenager time or to their adulthood. Yeah. But this is not the only work. I don't know. I need to think about longer. If yeah, what comes to my mind are workshops I give, like um, working with wood, with wood, working with your hands. Feel the satisfaction of having a product in the end that you self-build.
Would that also be with young adults, or? Yeah, I can see you in
Also,
that. Yeah, I can imagine that for many young adults, it's something that is very far from their reality if they're glued to their screen, you know, and having a life that is in so many ways so mediated through virtual reality to actually have something tangible and a real, you know, crafting something with their hands. Wow, what an experience that so many young people don't have anymore. Love that. How are your finances in 1 year?
it's not going to be a problem anymore. The perfect solution for me would be the answer, I don't know. I don't care. I have what I need and perhaps a little more, so that I can say I'm rich from my heart. I can go on holidays if I want to. I can buy things I really want, I really appreciate. So I don't need to take a look on money anymore.
And how does that affect your relationship with your children, with your partner?
There's more space. There's more time to spend with them. Yeah, I can concentrate on pleasure.
Mm.
I can concentrate on what I want to give. I can concentrate on projects I want to evolve.
Mm. Mm. Anything else that 1 year from now is very different from what you're experiencing or what you experienced a year ago?
The feeling of my body.
Mm.
I'm feeling I will feel filled in my body. I fulfill my body.
Mm.
Perhaps my body is bigger. Anyway, more fit.
Mm.
Mhm. I feel, yeah, I feel arrived in my body.
Mm.
I feel the power that I actually have.
Mhm. So if you tune in with this feeling in all the different areas of your life and what you just shared, how does that feel in your being to actually have achieved that vision?
Mhm. Again, a great satisfaction.
Mm.
Again, peace, like calmness, stillness.
Is there any doubt? You perceive a lot of confidence, clarity. Not really a question of where to go next.
Mhm. And still there will be a drive to go on,
Mm-hmm.
to not stand still. A stillness, but not to stand still.
Can you sense what's next after this?
Mm. To come a little step closer to my very vision.
Mm.
To think bigger.
Mm.
To reach out there, to reach more people, to influence more people.
Yeah.
Like on Instagram.
The way that I like to work with these visions is to not have that as something that you will achieve at some point in the future, but something that you can connect with right now
Mm.
and connect with how it feels in your body, and then to come from that place. So I can see how you're building these stepping stones towards that larger vision, but it's just another step before something even bigger wants to unfold. And so the invitation that I have for you is to already come from that place now.
Mm-hmm.
And to already allow yourself now to dream big. So how would TJ in 1 year go to the ecstatic dance tonight? How would TJ in 1 year present himself in the internet? How would TJ in 1 year talk to the people that he's currently working with and embody that more fully? How would you dress? How would you shop? What are the places that you would go to? And embody that vision of yourself already now.
I'm not sure if it must be visible in the outside,
Mm.
but it comes from a core which is more in peace with its own being.
Mm.
I don't know if I need to dress even more colorful, even more peacocking. Um, Perhaps it might be even less, but way more authentic.
And I feel what allows you to be more authentic is that innate confidence that you have, not because of what you're doing or what you're achieving, but because you're connecting more with that heart space that knows everything's okay.
Mm.
And then what might be possible if you had that confidence? And if you not only had that confidence for yourself, but if you would connect with others from this place of confidence, knowing that they're probably lacking that as well. They have all these different ways, in which they are hiding behind their Instagram profiles, hiding behind their outfits, hiding behind their consumerism, whatever it is. We all have our own ways. But behind that oftentimes is deep insecurity. And a lot of people long for this deep sense of confidence that isn't depending on how you see me and what I'm mirroring back to you and how I appreciate you, but from within. So I believe that that is relevant for everyone, but especially young adolescents, young people who are growing up and who are so much orienting to like, oh, what do I need to do to be accepted? And if you can give that gift, and if you embody that, and if they see you and see like, wow, he's confident, maybe they don't even have the words for it, but they see like, wow, he's relating with me in a way that is so natural, that is so authentic. I want to be like him. And I've always appreciated you for your quality of authenticity. When you're in this space, you're just so playful. You're so real, in such a funny way that is just cracking people's hearts open immediately. Yeah, there it is. That's the quality that I see in you and that I feel like, oh, the world needs that. More lightness, more naturalness, more authenticity without trying to pretend to be a big shot entrepreneur or whatever. That's just be you. That's a gift that you have for the world. In a world where there's so much pretense, being real is such a unique quality.
Thank you so much for seeing this.
And I feel partly it is medicine for you, but even more, it is needed in this world. And so my invitation would be, whenever you become aware of these two voices, the part within you that feels ashamed, the part within you that is judging, see if you can find that third perspective and see like, you know what, I'm choosing trust, I'm choosing confidence, I'm choosing love, not just for myself, but because by me embodying this, I'm bringing this quality more into the non-local quantum field. And I'm making a choice not just for myself, but for the world that I want to be living in. I don't want to live in a world where people are judging themselves, where people need to numb themselves because they're hurting themselves. I want to live in a world where people love themselves. And if I can be the first one to take that step, then that is my second path. Finding that as your spiritual duty and seeing like, wow, if I want to embody that for my children, if I want to embody that for my wife, so that they can orient on me and say like, oh wow, he's taking care of himself, he loves himself, he's really showing that, and he has the confidence that doesn't come from being born rich or any of these things, but by having earned it, by having worked your way to really fully accepting all the parts within you that are difficult to accept. I think that is something that then radiates out into the field. And then from that place, you don't need to worry about money. You don't need to worry about opportunities, because people will be magnetized to you and they'll be like, I want to feel like he feels, I want to be like he is, not because I want to mirror him, but because I want to have that for myself and find that within myself. What is my authentic expression? To be so free, to be so loving. And I think from that place, you also don't need to worry about what's the format, what kind of workshops am I creating? What's my target group? All these things. It'll magnetize around you by you just being you. And if you dare to just play, to be bold and say like, what kind of workshop would I want to do? What's an embodiment of TJ? What's an expression of my, most extraordinary, most outrageous self? Instead of trying to fit into a system of like, this is what a workshop should look like, and these are the formats, and like all these things that the world dictates us. You are just in a way, in so many ways, beyond that. That I feel there is almost a self-sabotage that says like, fuck that, I'm not playing this game, this is boring. Why should I start a business? Why should I host workshops and 3-day men's retreats or whatever? There's a more unique way in how you're doing things, and if you do that, it'll be so powerful. Because people are longing for this realness. They're just done with like, oh, another transformational coach telling me what to do, or any of that bullshit. What is your expression? You know, what is your flavor that people will be attracted to because, like, oh, finally some refreshing new spirit, you know, that shows me a sense of aliveness that I've been longing for instead of the clinical format that I have to suffer through for 3 days.
Something big is coming.
I feel that. Yeah, and it might be very different from what you thought it should look like.
What I was taught to thought.
Exactly. Yeah. This is how adventure pedagogy has to look like. Fuck that. I'll create my own adventure. Hold my beer. Watch me. Wow, nice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I feel that there's something that has been planted that wants to have some time to incubate. And we can check in the next few days to see how that wants to be nurtured, because that's all that it needs, to have that spark, to have that, like, oh, that might be a new direction, where I don't need to self-sabotage my way because I already know that I won't be enjoying what I'll be doing if I'm forcing myself into a certain track. What if you can be financially more successful than ever by doing more of what you really love?
And it's possible. It's the time for it.
It's not only possible, it's needed. The world wants for it. Thank you.
Thank you.